I guess a lot of people ask me, how do you do, how did you get started, and why, how did you get so, passionate about being a business owner, or, running Power Mondays or your Power Academy. And I say, this whole vision, Power Mondays started probably 2 years ago. I talk about it all the time, but I guess the lowest part of my life was, losing a job that I had worked, so hard to get. I think, getting my undergrad and getting my MBA, the number one thing in my head, I didn't have a why. I only knew that I wanted to make money, and to finally have the opportunity to make six figures, well over six figures, and then to have that taken away from me, that's a painful experience. And from there, in my darkest moment, I was sitting down, and I think my quiet voice, and we always talk to each other, asked me, hey, what's next? What do you want out of life? And that kind of got me into, I became obsessed with finding my why and finding my vision. And my vision ultimately led me to real estate. And from real estate, it kind of led me into, that motivational mentoring format. And from there, I discovered, my vision, and that's what I'm doing right now. But I think, the most important thing is it took failure for me to be able to get, to where I'm at, to where I ultimately gained power over my life. And I think there's so many people out there living right now that has, just recently lost a job, or, experienced the death of a loved one, or something traumatic has happened in their life that is that's pushing them towards something. But a lot of times we reject that, and we run back to the very situation that that made us unhappy, whether that's a job. A lot of people like to point out, I'm unhappy with where I'm working at right now. I think I read some crazy statistic that said over 90% of the people right now are unhappy with where they work. And that's not anything that's a surprise. That's just a natural phenomenon. We want to have control over our life, but it's a system that that we have to learn before we can even get to that step. The 1% of the people in America have figured that out. The corporations that we work for, the people who own those corporations, they figured the secret out. And it's up to us to get to a point to where we're fed up with not living our best life. And it, like I said, it ultimately happens when we're going through the toughest times of our lives. A diamond's not made in perfect conditions. It takes pressure to produce something special. So you have to just open up your eyes, embrace failure, embrace pain, and rise from that.